The 6 most brutal torture methods in human history. Number 1. The Brazen Bull, the slow roast of humanity. This wasn't just an execution, it was a theater. Imagine a giant life-sized bronze bull, its beautiful sleek surface gleaming in the light, yet inside it was a nightmare waiting to unfold. A person would be crammed into the hollow belly of the bull, the door shut tight behind them. Then a fire would be lit beneath, and the heat would gradually climb, slowly at first, then blistering as the metal absorbed the heat. The screams? They would echo out through pipes built into the bull, sounding like a distorted, unnatural roar. It was a symphony of agony that played for anyone who cared to listen. The worst part wasn't even the burning. Oh no, it was the long wait. First, the skin would start to cook, the flesh swelling and bubbling, the air inside becoming thick with suffocating heat. And just when you thought death might come, the bull's nostrils would release a sweet, fragrant incense, a twisted gesture of comfort for the audience as they watched the victim slowly cook alive. In the end, the only thing left was a charred, contorted body to be displayed like some grotesque trophy of punishment. Number 2. The Iron Maiden, a beautiful lie. On the outside, the Iron Maiden looked like a piece of medieval art, a beautiful, ornate cage with delicate ironwork. But step inside and reality smacked you in the face harder than any artwork ever could. The victim would be trapped inside, the door slowly closing, and as it did, spikes would begin to pierce their flesh. The spikes were designed to hit just the right spots, too deep to ignore, too shallow to end it quickly. The perfect agony, held in place by the victim's own body, pressed painfully against the spikes. If they were lucky, the victim might pass out from the overwhelming pain. But the fun wasn't over. The longer they stayed inside, the more the spikes would dig into their flesh, causing slow, agonizing death through blood loss and shock. And once they were dead, their mangled body was paraded in front of the crowds, proof of a perfect, twisted execution. Number 3. The Breaking Wheel, twisting your fate. The breaking wheel wasn't just a punishment. It was a public spectacle designed for maximum terror. Imagine being strapped to a giant wheel, your arms and legs flailing at odd angles as your body was crushed under its weight. But that was only the beginning. The real fun came when they began breaking bones. A cruel twist of fate, broken limbs, shattered joints, all while being left exposed for the crowd to gawk at. Sometimes, just to make it extra special, the executioner would give a final blow to the head. But not always. Oh yeah, sometimes the poor soul would be left to suffer on the wheel, broken and exposed to the elements, until their body eventually gave out. Death could take hours or days, making it a slow, agonizing performance for both the victim and the onlookers. Number 4. Impalement, the slow, pointed journey to hell. Impalement was the method when you wanted to make a statement. This wasn't just a death sentence, it was an art form of cruelty. The victim was slowly, and I do mean slowly, impaled on a sharp wooden stake, the point driving through their body with a sickening, almost melodic precision. Whether through the stomach, rectum, or back, the sharp wood would cut through the flesh and bone, and if they were lucky, it might miss vital organs. But the fun didn't stop there. Once impaled, the victim would be left hanging, often for days, the stake gradually pulling them deeper as their body succumbed to blood loss, shock, and infection. Sometimes the stake would pierce vital organs and cause the person to die quicker. Other times, the victim would hang there, suspended between life and death, just waiting for that sweet, merciful release that might never come. Number 5. The Judas Cradle, a seated nightmare. Imagine being forced to sit on a pyramid-shaped seat. Sounds pretty easy, right? Well, you couldn't be more wrong. The tip of the pyramid was strategically placed to make sure that it went straight where the sun doesn't shine. Or, for that matter, the most sensitive parts of your body. The victim was slowly lowered onto this unholy throne. The agony would be immediate. Every movement sent shockwaves of pain as the pyramid dug deeper into the flesh. You'd think it would be over quickly, but no, that would be too merciful. Instead, the victim would sit there, helpless for hours or even days, with the weight of their body pressing further down. The final result? Blood loss, infection, and eventual death. But at least they had the comfort of knowing they'd be a part of a beautiful torture design. Number 6. The Iron Chair. Sitting pretty, not so much. It might look like a simple chair at first, but the moment you take a seat, you know something's terribly wrong. The iron chair was the ultimate sit-and-suffer device. The victim would be strapped into place, unable to escape as spikes protruded from every angle. Back, legs, arms, nothing was safe. The spikes weren't meant to kill immediately. They were meant to torment. Sitting there, twitching in pain with every slight movement, the victim was slowly eaten away by the iron, the spikes cutting deeper as the hours dragged on. The chair wasn't just about physical pain, it was about the utter hopelessness of being trapped, knowing that you couldn't escape. And the longer they stayed, the more the infection and blood loss would take over. Eventually, the victim would die from a combination of shock, pain, and blood loss, but not before enduring the full sympathy-free experience of the iron chair. If you don't want any of these torture methods to be used on you, subscribe.